So there are a lot of different ways that you can come up with that phrase, and then you have your conclusion. In your conclusion, you summarize basically the 3 main points that you told your audience. This cements it in their mind one more time, and it also gives them an opportunity to come back and pick up anything that they've missed. So by using that summary, then you can lead them into the last part, the call to action. What do you want them to say, think, or do differently? See, the problem with the newspaper, and I think the reason why newspapers are on the decline is not because they're badly written. They're actually written quite well, with a lot of interesting stories. One of the reasons why we don't sit down and take the time to write the newspapers anymore is because we get to the end of an article and it's like, okay, what do we do with it? Don't leave your audiences with, great, what do I do with it? So usually you end up on a call to action where you're stating what you want them to say, think, or do differently. So in my case, what I would want to do for a call to action for you guys is to make sure and use the rivets technique along with organizing your speech to develop content a lot more quickly and get a lot more stage time so you can achieve your goals in Toastmasters and your goals beyond Toastmasters. I know we've covered a lot of material. Now I'd like to open up the floor for questions because I know we've got to have some.
The names here. Is
Yes.
it Randy Harvey?
Yes, Randy Harvey.
Okay, and then is it Darren McCroy?
He was 2001 world champion, Darren McCroy was.
Oh, okay.
And he was the one who was famous for falling down on the stage. Basically, the takeaway message of his speech was it doesn't matter that you're falling down on your face, trying new things. What matters is that you fall forward. And then Randy Harvey, 2005 world champion of public speaking. And his speech was on Fat Dad. So if you Google that speech, you're in for a treat. And he has a resource called A Course in Public Speaking, which I would highly, highly recommend. Because that's a course that will really teach you how to paint word pictures.
Have you written anything?
I've written a couple of seminars that I regularly produce. That is my New Year's resolution to write some books.
Okay, then. Okay, are you on YouTube?
I may. If I'm not, I will be after today. So
Okay.
search for Mike, or search for Lorelei and Mike. Lorelei and Mike Media. Yeah, on YouTube. And I'll make sure and have some stuff posted for you to look at.
Okay. And, are you on Facebook?
Yes, I am on Facebook, and it's Michael Hall.
Okay.
Although I haven't done a lot with it. I can't decide if I'm pro social media or anti-social. Huh? Yeah.
Too busy giving speeches.
Yeah,
You're
too
good.
busy giving speeches. But
I'll tell you what, I think you're a good speaker. I first thought of this. I noticed that I think a lot of times when Toastmasters and a lot of things, we're nervous up there and we have a tendency to talk too fast. You talk deliberately, and I first thought about the speed of the speaking when I saw on YouTube, I saw Groucho Marx doing a roast on Johnny Carson, and I noticed that he spoke deliberately and got laughs, and I thought, that's the secret. And now today I see you doing the same thing. You speak deliberately, and so that it's easier to follow. When somebody talks too fast, sometimes you don't get it all. And I'm thinking that might be something that all of us should work on, to speak more deliberately, to, you know what I mean?
I think you're absolutely right. And basically what the phenomena is this. When we're up on stage speaking, and we're incredibly nervous, most of us. I make my butterflies fly in formation, that's the only difference. What happens is we're going through our speech and we're thinking about what we're saying next. But we don't expect a laugh at a particular point. And so the audience laughs, but we want to get to our next point. And so we just rip through and the audience doesn't laugh. What we need to do is when the audience laughs, we got to pause. And pause as long as the laughter is there. And the reason why is because the laugh is the audience talking back to you.
Well, now, it doesn't necessarily need to be, it could be a laugh, but it could also be, in other words, it could be really not just a laugh, but just really any reaction that you can feel, then you should pause.
Right, pause, and if the reaction's big enough, acknowledge it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Let me give you another name of a speaker that you want to look up. David Levy.
Okay.
He just won our humor speaking contest. One of the things that he does masterfully is he'll pause and he'll gauge the audience's reaction.
Oh, wow.
And so he was talking about how he had arrived late at his girlfriend's house for dinner. Immediately he said, "Oh, I thought dinner was going to be ready." And you could just feel all the air leave the room as everybody's like, "Ah, you didn't!" And he said, "Yeah, I got the look. You don't want the look." And got a huge laugh line out of it. Another good speaker to watch is Ashley McGlone. And his speech to look up is, I can't remember if it's a boy or a guy named Ashley.
A boy named Ashley.
A boy named Ashley. Because he also makes great use of pauses and emotion and anger. Any other questions?
Okay, I'd say David Levy, what he does is, you say he stops and waits for at certain points. Now, how does he know when to stop?
A lot of that comes through stage time. And that is you just get experience of your audience talking to you.
Are there any books or anything on stage timing?
Darren LaCroix, Humor Boot Camp. It's a video series.
Okay.
And that'll help you get your timing down.
Okay.
Not to mention it will give you a lot of formulas for humor. That was a funny story in and of itself. My sister and I growing up, we never got each other until I took Darren LaCroix's Humor Boot Camp. And then when she was throwing out jokes and barbs, after I had taken Darren LaCroix's Humor Boot Camp, I picked up on the formula of all her jokes. And then it was like, wow! The whole world had opened up because I finally understood my sister. Definitely. It was worth the price. It was worth 5 times the price. Okay, well, I will be available after the session to answer any questions you may have. And the main thing is use the content that occurs in your everyday life, the recent events, the interests, your values, your errors, and your tried and successful to develop content fast. And never let an open speaking slot in your clubs go unfilled. Thank you for your time.